Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get right into today's video. So for today's video, we will be doing my nails. I did want to go for more of a springy nail set for today, so let's get into some nail prep. I'm just taking a cuticle pusher and just gently pushing back my cuticles, and I will be showing the process on both hands. Next, I'm taking a medium grit sanding band from Nails and Blinks and removing the shine from my natural nail along with some acrylic I did have left over. I did soak my previous set off the day before doing this set, so I am just trying to get a little bit more of that acrylic thinned down before we go into applying the new set. I hope you guys don't mind that today's video is a little bit longer than my previous ones. I did mention I am doing both hands for today's set, and I'm so thankful I was able to record the acrylic application when using my non-dominant hand. So I'm excited for you guys to see that because it's been a while since I did film a video with me using my non-dominant hand. So when I'm using this mandrel bit to remove like the shine and the excess acrylic, I am using it at the speed of 5,000 RPMs just to kind of help a little bit more with that acrylic removal, or at least just to thin it down a little bit towards the free edge. So when I apply my new tips, it's not like super bulky or whatever at the free edge. And also I want to mention, I'm sorry that you do see some dry skin on my right hand. I do have really bad eczema flare-ups sometimes, and it's one of those times again. So I'm sorry about that. Next, I will be using this very thin tapered drill bit and go around the cuticle area just to remove any excess dead cuticle, along with lifting up the cuticle and any leftover acrylic product from soaking off this last set. I don't know why I was having such a big issue right there pronouncing anything, but yeah, I'm just using this very thin tapered bit and going around the cuticle area just to lift up any of that excess acrylic from soaking off my set the previous day. So off camera, I did go ahead and apply my nail tips, and I am trimming them down. So the way that I do trim them down is on these 3 fingers, I have it at a size 4. And then for my pinky and my thumb, I do go down to the size 3. I don't know why, it just makes it a little bit easier for the pinky and the thumbnail to be a bit shorter than these 3 fingers. Next, I'm just taking my hand file and just gently shaping up the sidewalls just to make sure everything is nice and flush. And then I will also be doing the free edge, but I do all the fingers off camera except for the thumbnail, and then later on I will be taking the mandrel bit again just to blend the tips in with a natural nail. So when blending my nail tip in with the natural nail, I do have the drill at the speed of 4,000 RPMs when doing this because I don't want to overfile that little area. Not only that, I'm just gently doing it like I said, and I'm also removing the shine from the artificial tip. And this process just makes it a bit easier when doing the application because it doesn't show the little ridges from the nail tip showing through. So this step isn't absolutely necessary, but if you want to do it, you'll see like a huge difference in your application from actually doing this step to not doing this step. So when I'm doing nails on myself, I do like to prep only one hand before I do the other. So for this hand, I'm just using the ASP nail dehydrator, and then I will be going in with 2 layers of the Young Nails Protein Bond. After letting the Young Nails Protein Bond dry a little bit, I will be going in with a very thin layer of clear acrylic, so that way when I do a fill on this set, all I gotta do is just file down to the clear base. So for the acrylic powder today, I will be using the color Blooming Dahlia. This is from the Bear With Me collection on KAIROSE Nail Supply. I do have our website linked down below always with the discount code that does save you 15% on your orders. So I'm just taking a medium-sized bead of acrylic and applying it where the nail tip and the natural nail meet, and just gently blending it down towards the free edge, and then I will be wiping the sidewalls and the free edge just to keep the nice square shape that we do have. Next, I'm taking a very small bead of acrylic and applying it at the free edge and just gently blending it down towards the cuticle area just to give it a little bit more thickness at the free edge. Then I will be taking another medium-sized bead of acrylic and applying it right underneath the cuticle area, and I will be using the tip of my brush just to gently push it up so that way it doesn't cause any overflow, and then I will start blending that bead down. And if I do get any overflow on the sides here, you can just see me using the tip of my brush just to gently clean that up so that way it doesn't cause any lifting later on. And then I felt like it needed to be a little bit more thick, so I'm just taking another medium-sized bead of acrylic and applying it right there just to create more of an apex, and then blending that down towards the free edge as well. So I will be doing the same exact process across all the nails, so I will go ahead and let you guys continue to watch this process, and I'll pop back in when I feel like it's necessary. So getting started on my other hand, I will be using the same dehydrator and the Young Nails protein bond for the same steps I did on my last hand. So 1 very thin layer of the dehydrator and 2 layers of the Young Nails protein bond. After the protein bond has dried, I will be going in with very small beads of clear acrylic, like I said. So when I go ahead and fill these nails, all I gotta do is follow down to that very thin, clear, base. So when using my non-dominant hand, what I like to do is I like to use my right hand to pick up my beads and then move the brush to my non-dominant hand and then start working on the application. So I do the same process pretty much using my non-dominant hand. I just place that bead, the first bead where the nail tip and the natural nail meet, and then I just gently blend it down towards the free edge and add more beads where I feel like it's necessary. So here at the tip, I like to add a little bit more to create some more thickness there and blend it down towards the cuticle area. And then the next bead we will be applying will be the cuticle bead. And when applying the cuticle bead, I like to try to have my finger more in a downward position, so that way it helps the acrylic flow naturally down rather than flow into the cuticle area. But sometimes it's kind of hard, especially when filming and I want to stay in frame. I kind of have to angle it differently. So if you do see a little bit of spillage, that is why. Not only that, I'm still not the greatest at using my non-dominant hand to do application, well, like the acrylic application, so I'm still working on that a lot as well. And I am only showing the process of me doing 3 fingers on this hand just because I don't want it to be super repetitive and super long and boring. So after I do finish my ring finger later on, I will be moving on to the shaping and filing process. So this is what our acrylic application is looking like. It's very nice, honestly, especially right here on my using my non-dominant hand. I did have quite a bit of spillage on the thumbnail on my right hand, so I will have to do lots of work to kind of get rid of all that spillage so I'm not getting lifting later on. So getting into the filing, I am using my fine 5-in-1 drill bit and going around the cuticle area just to make sure everything is nice and flush with a natural nail. And I do have my drill at the speed of 8,000 RPMs when doing this step. Next, I'm going in with that medium grit sanding band again from Nails and Blinks and going around the cuticle area just once more, and then going over the surface of each nail just to smooth it out from that acrylic application. And if there's any areas that need to be debulked a little bit, I will go ahead and use this drill bit as well. Now I will be taking my hand file and just gently shaping up the sidewalls again, and I will just make sure everything's nice and flush with a natural nail. And then I do like to do the free edge as well, but it's kind of hard to do that in frame because I have to use the edge of my nail desk to do that. So you don't really see the process of me doing that except for only on the thumbs. You will see that. So here are what our nails are looking like after everything's been nicely shaped and filed, and I did also buff my nails off camera. So for today, I'm just quickly showing you the color palette I will be using. So to get into the nail art, I'm applying a very thin layer of this base coat from 𝐵𝐿𝐵𝐼, or like I said, I don't know how to pronounce this brand, but I absolutely love this base coat because I am using it as like blooming gel, and it works so wonderfully. So I applied a very thin layer of that, and I did not cure it. And then using this liner brush, I did pick up some of the pink and the white I did have on my palette, and I was just kind of marbleizing it how I wanted it to be, and I could tell that it bloomed really good, but I did not like how the design looked on there, so I will be wiping that off with a lint-free wipe and some alcohol and redoing that same process again. So after wiping the nail art off, I'm just applying another thin layer of that base coat to my nails, making sure not to cure this, otherwise you won't get that blooming effect. Just taking my liner brush and that pink and white again and just kind of marbleizing it and like moving my brush in little squiggly lines to get like the colors marbled pretty good. And if I feel like some pink needs to be added a little bit here and there, I will go ahead and do that. And after I get the design I want, I will wipe the sidewalls and go ahead and cure for about 10 seconds just to flash cure while we move on to the next nails. So doing the same exact thing, applying a very thin layer of base coat, taking my liner brush and picking up the color and the white that I want for this nail, and just doing squiggly lines and getting that nice blooming marbled effect. And as you guys can tell by the colors, I did want to go for more of a springy nail set for today, so that is what I am doing using these colors here. After I finish the design on this thumb, I will go ahead and cure this entire hand in the lamp for a full 60 seconds to make sure everything is nice and cured before moving on to my other hand. So doing the same exact thing on this hand, but I am switching up the colors on the nails. Like I don't want the same color on this finger that's on the other hand, so I will be switching up the colors, but I will be using the same techniques when doing this as well. So here I'm kind of just showing you how I pick up the colors. So I'm just kind of like twisting the brush in the two colors to kind of marbleize it, and then just applying it on the nail how I want it to look. And then after that, wiping the sidewalls down and curing that for about 10 seconds to flash cure. And then again, after doing the design on this thumbnail, I will go ahead and cure this hand in the lamp for a full 60 seconds to make sure everything is nice and fully cured. Now here with the nails are licking, I did take a lint-free wipe and some alcohol just to wipe off the sticky layer of that base coat. I think these nails came out pretty cute, honestly. So I'm just taking my super gloss top coat from Acrylics. I do have her link down below, as well as my discount code if you're interested in this top coat or her acrylics. And I am just applying a very thin layer of this to all the nails to give it a shiny look. You could also do matte, but I don't really have that much matte top coat. And not only that, I am a mom, so I have kids and everything gets messy, and I don't like the matte to get ruined from anything like stain wise, so I just prefer to do glossy nails for most of my sets. So before curing, I am just taking a little brush and a little bit of alcohol and wiping down the gel top coat around the cuticle area before curing it. And then when I do go ahead and cure, I will be putting that in the light for 60 seconds to make sure everything is nice and cured. I will also be showing the final results on both hands, so stay tuned for that. But that is pretty much the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!